To overturn it like we did was fantastic, and I've never heard Old Trafford like that.
After some of the sessions, we probably go do extras. They're always pulling me to the side and helping me in my positioning, and I've enjoyed it so far. They're a big help.
It'd have hurt me if I finished my career at Manchester United and not gone and won at Anfield. So to go and win and score the winner, it's a nice feeling.
Hello and welcome to Inside Carrington. No better place to be after that incredible win over league leaders Arsenal on Sunday. Liam's just about calmed down. I think Wes has too. I saw the celebrations going on at Old Trafford. But coming up on today's show, we're going to look back at that game, and we'll also look ahead to the game against Fulham. Not only that, we also have two first teamers joining us, Maguire and Ayden Heaven. So I know you'll really look forward to that. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
How are we? Wes just got a little bit electrocuted there by his microphone, but all is good. That'll heat you up a bit, Wes.
It's from the weekend. Everything's still hot and tingling.
I love that. I actually slept in this morning, so I feel a bit dishevelled. Woke up at 7:15. That is sleeping in. So I feel a bit dishevelled today.
Celebrations wild in the Evans household, were they?
No, the kids just didn't wake me up. They've now started setting their own alarms, which is a game changer, because I used to set the alarm and wake them. But yeah, so I'm a bit dishevelled. But I mean, what an incredible weekend that was.
Yeah, unbelievable. It's the first time Manchester United have won at the Emirates in 8 years. It's the first time that Arsenal have conceded 3 goals since 2000 and
whenever. I heard that on the radio.
Absolutely
I was really
crazy.
shocked at that.
It's the first time they've lost at home all season long. Manchester United have effectively scored 3 goals in back-to-back games, because I still don't think that Mason Mount should have been ruled out against Manchester City. What a performance from Manchester United. And it's crazy, isn't it? What a difference 10 days can make in terms of how you're feeling. Skipped out of bed on Monday, skipped out of bed this morning. It's absolutely brilliant, Wes.
Yeah, it makes you feel fantastic. The turnaround's crazy. No one would have expected. Maybe we could win one game, obviously, but it's the way we've done it.
Yeah.
The mindset that the lads are going out to play, the freedom, the way Michael's, got them defending and working for each other. And not only that, then when they get the ball, go and express yourself, play forward, take people on, shoot. It's just all gone perfect for him in that sense. So it's, like you said, Liam, it's nice, good few steps this morning. Well, all week, really, after the City game. And we just hope we continue that now against Fulham, like you said, which I think is one of them games where you've expected to win because of how we've played. And these are the sort of games that we've sort of not been winning in.
Yeah, because do you think
the
the expectation for a City and Arsenal, you kind of go in thinking, right, okay, even if we get a point out of this, whereas Fulham, people expect you to win traditionally. Obviously, Fulham are doing well this season, but the expectations are a little bit different. Does that affect your mindset going into the game as a player?
I think it honestly can. I think when you play the big games, you can get up for them. It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Playing City all weeks, on the telly all weeks, on the radio, your friends are telling you. And even though Fulham have been playing well this season, and if you look where they are in the league, a Fulham game's a little bit different. You have to do it personally. Yes, the staff will help, but you have to go out there and still give everything you've got. Don't get your head down. Still do all your concentrations. Think what the manager's asked you to do. Go and express yourself. This is the test game. This is a big one.
Do you mind if I just revel a little bit longer in Arsenal before I start thinking about Fulham? Those 2 goals. From, in fact, all 3, and Bumo's is brilliant, but the 2 that we're thinking of, Patrick Dorgu's finish is outstanding, but Mateus Cunha, he is the first substitute to score for Manchester United this season.
Wow.
It's crazy that, isn't it?
That is
absolutely crazy. And he came off the bench against City and set 2 up, because, again, I'm not ruling out Mason Mounts, because that definitely should have stood. And he's managed to score away at Arsenal. I mean, I know he might have been a little bit frustrated being sat on the bench, Wes, but when you can come on and impact games to that level, it's incredible.
It is. I mean, when you've got talent like that, I always feel he'll want to be starting, and we all think he should be starting. But the way Michael Carrick's done it, and what I mean by that is a player can easily get the head down and be frustrated that he's not started. I mean, like you said, he set 2 up against City. He'll be wanting to play. He'll be thinking, well, I might get a chance. Again, sub against Arsenal. But the way he came on and just exploded, getting the ball turning. And like you said, that shot, he actually does that shot quite a lot.
Yeah, he does.
He's very good at it because it's like a pass shot, like curl, very powerful. And he got it spot on. But, he still shows the same determination when he comes on. You know what it's like when a sub comes on, they're thinking, right, I've got 10 minutes, what can I do? He's looking to get the ball, he's looking to score. The attacking players are looking to score, trying to take people on. But again, what a great finish at a time where, as you know, I think Arsenal were probably just thinking, right, we're happy with this today. 2-2, you've not got beat. Let's not lose it. But the mindset, it's all about the mindset. They've not stopped. They kept going regardless, and absolutely loved it.
A credit's got to go to everybody involved, really. For me, you look at Michael Carrington. Obviously, he will get the plaudits for this, but Steve Holland has done a magnificent job. Jonathan Woodgate's done a great job. I would imagine that your house is absolutely bouncing at the minute, isn't it?
It is. To be fair, I was sleeping by the time Johnny actually got home, so that's probably a bit of an anticlimax. There was no celebrations, no balloons, but yeah, I mean, the feeling is just unbelievable whenever you're on that winning streak. I know it's only 2, but we can call it a winning streak, can't we?
Longest unbeaten run in the Premier League at the moment, Manchester United, 6 games.
Wow.
There you go. So yeah, everybody's just in a good mood. The kids are obviously buzzing, like Eli, he just running around the house singing Glory, Glory Man United constantly. And it's nice for the kids to go to school and have that one up, and well, particularly in the derby, not so much I suppose against Arsenal, although there is a few Arsenal fans dotted around, isn't there? But it was just exactly as you say, Wes, it was the manner that we won. It's not just a lucky goal in the last minute, like it was the manner that we want to keep scoring goals, and that surely that must play a part in the next game, right? We need more.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you just said, it's whatever Michael or the coaching staff has said, how they set up. I thought the Arsenal game, we pressured him a little bit deeper and it worked. We know how good Arsenal can be on the ball, still looking to counter-attack. I think the main thing for me was passing forward, the confidence to pass forward, turn, get at Arsenal.
On top of that, there wasn't a defensive substitution there. Didn't bring on a centre-back or a defensive midfielder. Went, no, Benjamin Šeško, on you go. And I think that kind of attitude epitomises what Manchester United is, doesn't it?
Yeah, deep in your mind, you bring on attackers or obviously midfielders. You still know you're still trying to win this game. I think once you start bringing on 1 or 2 defenders, and we have been doing that recently. This season anyway, and previous season. In the back of your mind, you're probably thinking, right, let's hold out. No one says it. You don't talk about it. But when you start bringing strikers on, attacking midfielders, it's telling you, right, we're still going for this. Mm-hmm. They've worked hard as well, but we're going to go for it. We're not going to give up, and we're not looking to get a draw. We're looking to go and score again. And I think if you get in your head that, regardless of the score at the end, we're looking to score all the time. It's as simple as that. If we get an opportunity, if we see space, if there's a pass forward, we play it and we try and score. It's
what Michael Carrick said to us, wasn't it? When we spoke to him about not knowing what's about to happen, about that air of the unexpected when you go into the stadium, about not knowing what you're going to see, and that's what we're getting. And also, I would say on Michael Carrick, like, he's so calm, but he really celebrates those goals, by the way, which is what I absolutely love. So good. But he's such just a calm presence on that touchline. He's calm when you speak to him. The players must feel that too. Yeah, 100%. And I think, he's been a manager for a while now, but obviously to come back in his second spell, he's already experienced it, which I think is a big yes for me. He knows maybe even the first time around, what he could have done better. Mm-hmm. But like you said, he's a very calm guy anyway. But that will project itself onto the players, and they think, right, well, yeah, and you can see his confidence. Yeah, he gives it to the players as well. It brings it out. And the other thing I can think he's changed, or maybe not changed, but he's allowed the players to express themselves a little bit. So when we do go forward, it's, you're here for a reason. You play for Manchester United, go and express yourself. I'm not going to tell you how to play in the final third. I'm sure this story has been told before, but I remember Johnny telling me that on a match day, Sir Alex Ferguson used to just go and get the programme.
and sit quietly in the corner. He was calm. He trusted his players, and it's quite a similar situation.
I think you've got to trust your players, and like I've just said, they're there for a reason. They play football for a reason. The attackers score goals, the midfielders do both sides, the defenders do their jobs, and that's what you've got to let them do. You can't tell them what to do all the time. I think it's a little bit different, maybe the defending and the way you can move the ball side to side. But I think attacking, especially when you get in the final third, you buy him and Mbeumo to go and attack players, same as Ahmad. You buy Cunha to get hold of the ball, be strong, turn if possible, get at players. You don't want to sort of stop their strong points. And I think Michael's let them express themselves.
Yeah. Many fans will remember that game from 2005 when John O'Shea scored. What an incredible day that was for the fans, wearing the black kit. Ooh. But that wasn't the most important thing of that day. It wasn't Shazy's goal. Wes came on in the 70th minute.
Yeah, it came on. Gaffer said, well, he didn't say much. Shot Wes with that little stare. No, but yeah, a little cameo role. But what a day and what a kit! There's something about the black kits. I'm telling you. And this one,
the black kit.
I'm loving the yellow on it. I'm absolutely loving it.
I do prefer black socks, I have to say.
Okay,
yeah. See, it's funny. I agree with you wholeheartedly. So against Nottingham Forest, wore the black kit, had the yellow socks on, and drew all black. Against Wolves and absolutely battered them. Black top, yellow shorts, yellow socks. That was against Brentford and we lost that game. So when we turned up wearing the yellow socks, I was a little bit concerned.
Are you superstitious, Liam?
No, yeah.
Really?
Terribly.
See, I am not superstitious whatsoever. But I'm just purely going by aesthetics.
I think the superstition of black kit against Arsenal probably superseded everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember that. I remember that game down at Arsenal. Do you know that's the first comeback win against Arsenal since that game?
That doesn't surprise me because I heard a stat beforehand. One Arsenal haven't been beat when they score first. Is that right?
Yeah.
But yeah, when they score, it's very difficult for away from home to get a win. So there's something definitely going on with the kit, and the fans love it. A lot of people I spoke to are like, "And the kit, where's in the kit?" Yeah, it just looked perfect. So you're like, and you look at it thinking, "Yeah, it did actually."
Yeah. What's that like coming on into? Yeah, obviously Shazy scores. It's an iconic goal. I think it's still ranked right up there, isn't it? In terms of fans' favourite goals at the Emirates. What's it like when that goal goes in and then you're told to get on? You come on for Cristiano Ronaldo as well.
I'm probably not celebrating as much as everybody else because all I can think about is do not make a mistake because that's why I'm going.
And also you've just, when you come on, it's different. Isn't it?
As a defender, you can't make a mistake. So I'm just trying to concentrate. But the games, it doesn't matter where we were in the league. It's just a tough game. It's hard. And we just give everything. Not that we could give just as much as we got, especially then, and that's the competition between the two clubs. It's so high, it's so fierce, and to get a win there, I don't know, it makes you smile all week, I suppose.
Do you know what annoys me though? Lots of commentary I've heard post the game, our Arsenal's wheels falling off as they do most seasons at around this time. But I'm like, no, that was our victory. We played unbelievable, played them off the park. It wasn't necessarily that Arsenal didn't play well.
And you're absolutely right. And I think the big link between your side of 2005 and this side of 2026 was the similarity is that Manchester United are finding different ways to go and win football games. Against Manchester City, were dominant pretty much for 90 minutes. Was not the case against Arsenal. Had to soak it up for half an hour. But then they figured out, we can actually be physical. We can be strong. We can use a bit of power. We can then get a bit skillful. We can use the space. And I think having multiple ways of winning football games is very reminiscent of your sides all the way through your career. And even in the sort of early 2010s, exactly like that. And it's a real positive.
Well, we could talk about that Arsenal victory for days and days and days, but I did promise you that we would have Harry Maguire and Ayden Heaven. I was really hoping for a Harry Maguire header, last minute header in that game, but listen, there's many more times for that. As you said, he's got 3 more to get, I think. Is that
That's what we said, beginning of the season, yeah.
Well, we'll find out now because we did speak to Ayden and Harry last week all about their careers, and we did have some light-hearted topics in there too. Inside Carrington is presented by United Store, the official home of exclusive United merchandise. We actually thought, instead of going into the deep questions, we'll start with some icebreakers. So the first one we're going to ask Ayden to you firstly. Who is the most competitive between you two in training?
I'll probably say Harry.
What sets the competitive streak off?
For me,
Yeah.
I do want to win when I play small games, but he's always getting into little arguments with players. So.
Didn't expect the podcast to start like that.
So we're both competitive, really. But you've got to be competitive to. Otherwise, if you don't train competitive, I don't feel like it's not. You shouldn't be a footballer, really.
Mm-hmm.
Who's got the better music taste?
Me.
All these boys are awful now. What they listen to.
What's your go-to before a game? What would you pick?
American rap.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anybody in particular?
Lil Baby, Lil Durk.
Okay. And Harry, your go-to before the game?
Anything what's opposite to them.
Adele.
Adele.
I bet you listen to Smooth. Do you listen to Smooth?
I listen to anything apart from all that, really. Any genre apart from that.
Who is the DJ in the dressing room these days?
Diogo,
I was going to say,
Yeah.
is it still...
Been Diogo for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, Diogo has it. Josh DJs the change room a lot at the training ground. But Diogo on match day normally does it.
And our final one, do you both have a nickname? Ayden, do you have a nickname?
I don't, It's Ayden.
Maybe this-
Yeah.
Time to give you one.
I
All
don't-
right. It's
Probably
just H,
boring,
isn't it?
Just H, yeah. A, H.
Could be a joke in that.
Squeeze up, A.
That's interesting. One of the questions that we've got later on is the conversations that, I'm going to ask it now, the conversations that happen on the pitch that maybe fans don't hear. So how important those conversations are is the first question. And the second one is, what kind of stuff are you saying to each other? 25th minute, you're playing centre-half together. What are you talking about as you sort of, coming back from an attacking chance at the other end, for example?
Yeah, I think I feel like when you play alongside someone as a centre-back, I just want to hear anything, really. It's not even about what they're saying. I just want to know that they're there, really, to feel comfortable in the game or as a defence. When you know someone's behind you or close to you, you feel more comfortable and confident in going into any duel. So yeah, it's just more little things like I'm there or are you around, or just simple things about talking and squeezing the line and things like that. But nothing really interesting. We're not asking each other what they've had for tea last night and things, but yeah, it's just more to feel comfortable and confident that someone's close to you, really.
Mm.
You good communicator, Ayden, when you're on a pitch?
I try. They get on to me sometimes and I don't say a lot, but yeah, I'm improving on it. That's something that I try and improve on over time.
Whilst we're on the topic of on the pitch, Michael Carrick has obviously come in as head coach. Harry, I know you've spoken about it recently in interviews, but obviously you're a few more days in. How's it been?
No, it's been really good. Really impressed with the way he's come in and handled himself. But I knew he would do that just from the experience of knowing Michael, and also knowing the way that he coached when he was here under Ollie. He spoke really, really well in the dressing room when he spoke back then, and he was really just new into coaching then. So I've no surprise when he come in and the way that he spoke in his first meeting and the way that the sessions have gone. And I do think that he's got a great staff with him in terms of they're all on the same page, and I've been really impressed with it.
What's he like? The pictures that we see that come from training is him almost in the middle of you with balls at his feet. Is he one of those coaches that is fully engaged with training, gets involved, hands-on on the coaching pitch?
Yeah, definitely. He takes most sessions. He still does demos in passing drills, and he still bangs it through the lines like he's still got
That
it.
ball doesn't bobble once about it.
He doesn't. he was doing the demos the other day, and I think he did 2 passes. Everyone did 300, and I think his 2 were the best I've seen out of them all. But no, he's still got it, and he's real hands-on in training. But also you've got Steve as well there, who's, when I was worked with Steve at England, he was real hands-on in terms of took most of the training sessions. So you've got 2 coaches there who like to get involved, and I think it's really good.
For you two, Ayden, it must be brilliant. You've got some proper defensive coaching going on here in the likes of Steve Holland, in the likes of Jonathan Woodgate, Johnny Evans. There's some real experience. What's that like to have on a day-to-day?
No, yeah, it's really good. Obviously, Johnny especially, he's been helping me a lot, me and Lenny. After some of the sessions, we probably go do extras and just work on that, the basics. And just like even between drills, during their sessions, they're always pulling me to the side and helping me in my positioning. And yeah, so I've enjoyed it so far. They're a big help.
Must be brilliant to have somebody able to, as well as the guys that you're playing with, having somebody that's able to sort of impart that knowledge that they've gained over years and years of playing football, and having somebody like that's a brilliant resource, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, because obviously they've played in the game for over like 20 years, and when I know that, obviously I'm going to listen to them, because I just know I can learn from them.
Brilliant.
In terms of that defence, Harry, as well, there's a real balance. You and Luke, senior players now. I know people don't like to be called that, but you are senior players now, and you've also got the likes of Ayden and Lenny coming in. There's a real balance, and I'm sure that you probably feel like part of your role now is teaching them some of your experience. Yeah,
of course. It's so important that obviously Ayden and Lenny, the young lads, and as a defender playing in the Premier League week in, week out, you don't see many 19, 20-year-olds playing, especially at big clubs. And when I was 19, 20, I was playing in League One at Sheffield United, and I was making mistakes, but the scrutiny and the eyes weren't on me, and I could make the mistakes and go into the next game and play. These boys have got to learn whilst they're playing on the biggest stage. So it's so important that they're learning while they're playing the game, but they're also doing a lot of coaching and learning on the training pitch. And I think with the likes of Steve and Johnny and Woody coming in, I think it's so important that they develop the game at the training ground as well as they do develop it when they play the games, because it's a tough school to play at this age, and credit to them, because they're both obviously extremely talented, and it's a tough school to learn the game when you're playing in front of 70,000 people and with the scrutiny on you. So they've done excellent since they've played the game. Of course, they're extremely talented players, and they're lucky to be in this position that they're playing at such a big club at such a young age. But rightly deserved, because they have the talent to do it.
I wonder whether it benefits both sets, actually, having some young players coming through, the likes of Ayden and Lenny that we've spoken about, but also, Tyler Fredrickson, who's been knocking around, come up through the 21s and is now helping out wherever he can help out. Having that young group also sort of helps out the older group, doesn't it? Keeps you on your toes a little bit, H.
Yeah, of course. These boys, listen, they have some amount of talent. They have all the attributes to go and have the career that they want to have. But also we have to remember as a club, as a fan base, that these are still real young defenders who have lots to learn, no doubt about it, but they're going to have a career if they don't get set back by, like I said, learning on the mistakes, and make sure that they play with no fear. And we don't want them to grow up and be fearful of playing or making mistakes, because, like I said, they have the talent, the attributes to go and do whatever they want in the game.
Ayden, as Harry says, 19, settled at the club so quickly. What do you think that's been down to?
I'll say working hard in training. I try to work as hard as I can, and sometimes there'll be an injury or space where I can fill in. And when I've come in, I feel like I've taken my chances as well. And also the trust from the manager that plays me, that helps as well,
How's the transition been, moving from London to Manchester? Because I know it's like people move from different countries, but for you, you're still leaving where you're from. Obviously, your family have uprooted. And how's that been for you, that move?
It was easier than I thought, really, because it's not really that far from London, and my family's not that big. So we pretty much all moved to Manchester. And yeah, my mum, she's been really supportive, and having my little siblings here as well helped. So yeah, it was easy, I would say.
Yeah, that's probably a big thing, having your family with you rather than making that move by yourself. Do you think that's been really important for you to settle in the club so quickly?
Yeah. Also, my mum, she comes to all the games as well, and I always have her support there. And it's always nice after you've played a good game to go up and see them, and just the proud look they all have. And yeah, it's a good feeling.
We've spoken about how important having a group of young and more experienced players is, but I wonder whether when you look at each other, there is an attribute that you would take from Harry that you would like to have, and whether there's an attribute that Ayden's got that you'd like to have. What would you pinch from Harry?
Definitely attacking set pieces, like scoring from corners and crosses. I would say that.
Yeah,
definitely.
What would you steal from Ayden?
I'd steal his left foot. I'd love to have his left foot alongside my right. It'd make game a lot easier.
Harry, there's been so many games this season where I'm in the studio or wherever I'm sat watching the game, I'm like, this has got a Harry Maguire header written all over it. Like, you just feel like it's going to happen. And even in the derby, well, it was so close, wasn't it, when it hit the bar?
No, to be honest, that I should have scored that one. I got my timing a little bit wrong. I got a little bit underneath it, and the boys did a great job in terms of the execution. The balling was amazing. And yeah, obviously it was only 2-3 minutes into, I think that was the only corner we had in the game,
Yeah.
Which was strange. But yeah, that's one that defo got away from me. I don't think I've scored in a Manchester derby as well, so hopefully something I can do.
Scored at Anfield though, that must have felt good as well.
Yeah, scoring at Anfield, that was a special occasion. Everywhere I go now I get reminded of that goal, so no,
is it the goal or is it the knee slide? Because it's the coldest knee slide I've ever seen.
I know, yeah. Everyone always mentions my knee slide. I went to the opposite end. I went to the Liverpool fans. I know a lot of people liked it, but if I knew where I was in the stadium at the time, it just all a bit of a whirlwind, and I'd have gone to our fans, the away fans in the stadium. But no, it was a great feeling. I think just because of my time, and I've been here for 7 years, and to go to Anfield and we've not had the best results and they've had their upper hand on us, to go there, and it'd have hurt me if I finished my career at Manchester United and not gone and won at Anfield. So to go and win and score a winner, it's a nice feeling.
I've got I'm going to go slightly off script here, but I've got a friend called Dips who, mad season ticket holder, she goes home and away every game, had a bad hip at the Lyon game, really, really struggling. Goes flying. Obviously, somebody pops up with a last-minute winner. I can't remember who that was. I go berserk in the commentary box. She gets swept up in the emotion inside the ground, falls over, smacks a hip on the ground, and miraculously is cured the next day. So she sent me a picture of you as Jesus, essentially, and saying that basically Saint Harry has cured her, and she's sticking by it. So,
brilliant.
Scorer of last-minute winners and healer of hips, Harry Maguire.
Tell her no problem.
What's that feeling like though when that hits the back of the net? Is that a better feeling than that last minute tackle before a goal goes in?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone always says as a defender, they always ask you what do you prefer, a last minute tackle or a goal, but nothing beats scoring a last minute winner. The feeling, obviously the Lyon goal was that late that we knew it was the winner. The Liverpool goal, we still had to focus and concentrate a little bit because there was time left for them to score the equaliser, and then that is an honourable feeling again. So yeah, your emotions can run high, but yeah, the Lyon goal was the game was just crazy. We thought we was done at 4-2, and to overturn it like we did was fantastic, and I've never heard Old Trafford like that. It was an amazing atmosphere.
Unbelievable. You've given me some of the best commentary moments I think I've had working for this football club. Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. What's it like when you're watching on, Ayden, when that happens? Like, because Old Trafford is unbelievable when it gets noisy like that. And you know, when H pops up with a last minute winner or whoever it is, it's pretty special.
Yeah, that's the loudest I've heard it. Obviously, I was up in the director's bit because I was out at the time, and yeah, it was pretty loud up there.
It's a great stadium when it gets rocking like that, and I think we saw that again in the derby, didn't we? Hopefully a bit more of that to come as we go through the rest of this season.
Yeah, the atmosphere was unbelievable on Saturday, wasn't it? Did you feel that on the pitch?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like, I'd say Lyon was the loudest moment, but for an entire game, it was arguably probably the loudest I've heard it from before the game to the end of the game. It just felt a different energy in the stadium and the intensity. It was like when Old Trafford gets like that, and it just feels like you can't lose, and it like sucks the ball into the back of the net. It pushes the team forward, and it's a special place, and it's done so many great things over the years.
It's a perpetuating cycle, isn't it? That the players feel the fans getting excited, they push on, that makes the fans more excited, and you end up with this feedback loop that is, it just gets noisier and noisier, and the players push and push, and noisier and noisier, and it's absolutely brilliant when it gets like that. One of the best feelings in the world when Old Trafford is absolutely rocking. It really is. I wonder whether I could talk to Ayden about the balance that you're trying to find at the minute between young player coming to this side. You've obviously taken your chances when they've come, and you've been exceptional when you've been given those chances, but you've got to balance the confidence and the ability to play with the patience and knowing that maybe the real time for you is a little bit further down the track. How do you deal with that on a day-to-day?
Yeah, it's difficult, I could say. 'Cause sometimes you may not play, and then sometimes you might just get thrown in, you know. And obviously at this time we're not in Europe as well, so there's less games to come into. But I just feel that I just gotta work hard, you know, every day, and just try and get in the team week in, week out.
Yeah, and you've been brilliant whenever that opportunity has arisen. How important is it for maybe the more senior players to help the younger players manage that situation? Because it's hard, isn't it? You're at one of the biggest football clubs, the biggest football club in the world. You're not going to get every minute of every game. Something that you've had to deal with this season after picking up the injury against Spurs. How important is it to just sort of keep everybody on an even keel?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's so important for the management and the staff to make everyone feel involved, to make everyone feel part of the group and special. I think obviously it's been harder this year just because we're not in Europe, and for this club not to be in any European competition isn't good enough. So, but it's down to us and it's our fault. So last year we wasn't good enough, and we're holding the responsibility now that there's not enough games to give the talented squad that we have the games that everyone, I feel like, deserves. But yeah, of course, I think like Ayden says, one of the hardest things, especially as a centre defender, he's been out for like 3, 4, 5 weeks, not playing a game, and then all of a sudden you're like, right, you're starting the next one. It's tough. That's one of the hardest things, I think, as a defender, that or having to come on in the 70th minute when you're winning 1-0, and it's tough. I find it tough now, and I'm experienced and been in that situations numerous times. So these boys are learning the hard way, like I said, and that's why you've got to remember that the young lads, there's going to be mistakes, but there's also going to be very good games as well, like Ayden's shown over this season when he's been thrown in, and he's done excellent, and so has Lenny as well, to do what he's done over the last 18 months, and the amount of games that Lenny's played over the last 18 months, he's done excellent.
Ayden, what's Harry like in the changing room? Does he look after you all?
Yeah, especially before games. I feel like when Harry's not in the squad, he always tries to come over, you know, and just like help me and give me advice on what to do. And obviously he knows a lot about the strikers. He's played against them before, and it does help me because I take it into the game.
Is that something that you would consciously think, right, we're playing against Haaland or whoever it could be, and you would go and say, look, he might do this in a game? Would you take that upon yourself? Would you take that responsibility to younger players? Yeah,
definitely. Not just younger players.
No.
To all players, really. If I'm not playing, I want the team to win. That's only what I'm at an age now where I just want to be part of a successful group, a successful team. You can go through a stage of career where you probably do prioritise yourself a little bit more, and you're wanting your legacy or your individual performances to be really high. But I'm at a stage now where I just want to be part of a successful group. So if I'm not there to help the team, I'll do everything I can to help Ayden, make him feel comfortable to go and play, and give him everything he needs to go and play. But at the end of the day, is Ayden going to play on the pitch? And he's produced some magnificent performances this year, I must say, when he got the chance.
Arguably, no one at this club has had to deal with the scrutiny that you have had to deal with, and I think that's been the most incredible the way you've dealt with that has just been incredible. I know loads of people have told you that, but I think that we should say it on this podcast. Is that something that you feel like you can share with other players in the team? You know, I've been through this, because not everybody can cope with what you've gone through.
Yeah, definitely. I think people not just share it with words. I think people can see with my actions, and they see me, and they've seen the journey that I've been on through at this club, and how much scrutiny I did get for that 6 to 12 months when I was captain of the club, and we wasn't performing as a club, and it all did come down really on my shoulders. But yeah, I think I've said it numerous times. This club is up down until we get to a consistent level. There's always going to be players in the team under pressure. I think at the moment there's players in the team under pressure, and they're probably sat there feeling it, but they could look at me an example of how they come through at the other side, and be well thought of at the other side of it. So it's part and parcel of playing for this club. The eyes, the scrutiny, the analysis on this club now is so big, and when you become a senior player, that's when the scrutiny comes.
It is part and parcel, but what you had to endure wasn't part and parcel of the game. You know, as you say, it was coming down on your shoulders, completely unjust. And the journey, as you say, that you've been on has just been absolutely incredible. And I know you've got a young family. Is that what helps you through those times?
Yeah, definitely. It did help me through. I have obviously a wife and 2 girls. So when you leave football and you try and put everything to a side, you can go home and spend a lot of time with your family. I also have
watch Disney Princess and do that
course,
kind of thing to take your mind off it.
YouTube
Frozen
kids
for the 300th time. Yeah.
Disney films. So I'm surrounded by girls after being surrounded by lads at the training ground. So no, I have a great family. I have great friends. I have great parents. But yeah, I think everyone handles with it differently. And of course, some people wouldn't handle it as well as I've handled it, but there's many people in life who goes through. I always say it's not just football. People every day wake up with struggles or and have to find ways to get through the day or go to work when they're not enjoying it and things. And yeah, you've always got to look forward to the future and try and change things.
Who's your go-to, Ayden? If things not necessarily going the way that you want them to go, who's the first person that you pick the phone up to? I mean, mine's my mum. Like, my mum and my wife. Those are the two.
I know it probably doesn't sound good or it's not good. Like, you should always speak to someone, but I always feel like I can cope. Like, just dealing with it by myself.
Everybody's different, aren't they?
Yeah,
we actually had Senna on not that long ago. He talked about how he journals. That's how he reflects on games, prepares for games. So
I think if you find yourself in a position where you've got something that needs dealing with, as long as you've got a mechanism in place that allows you to do that, then you're away and laughing, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I must say, like Ayden said, when things were difficult with me, I didn't reach out to people, or I didn't get my mum on the phone and give her a call. I dealt with it myself as well, but I also had I know I had great support around me, but I didn't reach out to people, and I also had my family, what could take my mind off things and things like that. So I think, like Ellen says, everyone is different. Some people would want support, psychology, go and speak to the manager, and some people have the inner to try and overcome it themselves. So everyone's different. Hopefully everyone can find a way to overcome it.
Let's have a look for the rest of the season, shall we? I'd like to know what you both think success looks like this season. Ayden?
I think at the moment, well, just for the team, first of all, I think we're performing really well at the moment. I think we could finish in like a top 4 position going into next season. And that'll obviously be really good for us as a whole. And personally, I just, like I said, I just want to try my hardest to get in the team. Like, it's difficult at the moment. But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, just keep pushing.
Yeah.
And try and get some heading practice from Harry.
He should have scored the other day.
Don't.
Burnley were it Burnley?
Yeah, Burnley.
It was like mine against City, that.
What about yourself, Harry?
When you sit here at Manchester United, you always speak about, like, yeah, we want to win trophies, we want to win the league, but you've also got to be a little bit realistic from where we was last season. People can sit there and say, well, they're expected to put I'm pretty sure at the start of this season, no one expected us to be in the Champions League places. However, like I said, it's disappointing this year that we're not in the Cups. Let ourselves down in the Cups, losing to Grimsby and Brighton. And yeah, take each game as it comes and improve performance-wise as a team is really important as well, because we've got to make sure that the performances are right.
I had the good fortune to speak to both of you in Chicago in pre-season. Beautiful weather, nice and sunny. I said to you, how many goals were we going to get from you this season? I asked whether or not it was going to be 5, and you said, let's wait and see. Success this season, you're not that far away from that now, are you? And you need a couple more.
What am I on 2?
2, I think, yeah. 3 more.
3 more should be doable, but I'm on 2 this year. But I've been injured too much this year. I've obviously missed the last couple of months through an injury, so I haven't actually played that many games. But yeah, hopefully I can get, I don't know how many games are left, 15. I'd take 2, but 3 would be nice.
We're recording this in between Manchester City and Arsenal, so I'm now praying that it's a last minute winner at the Emirates. That would be absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, fingers crossed for a good result. I know you've answered this in part, but what advice would you both give to young defenders watching this who want to follow the same path?
The biggest advice to anyone, I'd say, just is working hard. It's such an old cliche, but come in every day and train and work as hard as you can. And I always say, not just in football, but in life, give everything you can to what you're doing. And we're all human, and you can only do your best. So if you prepare well, give absolutely everything in training. You can only do your best, and what will be, and the future will look after itself.
Mm-hmm. Good advice. Ayden, what about you?
I would say not to dwell on mistakes, I feel like as a young defender, you're going to make a mistake in the game, and I just feel like just don't dwell on it during the game. And when you go into the next game, just have a clear head and just watch loads of top centre-backs, because you can improve by watching them. And yeah, I'll just say those 2 really.
And Sheffield and London, but how much do you have Manchester in your heart?
A lot now. I've been here this is my 7th season. I love the city. I actually used to travel up quite a bit when I was in Sheffield to go on a night out when I was younger. But yeah, I love the city, love the people, love the club. It's definitely a home, if not a second home to me now.
And what about yourself, Ayden?
London.
Wrong answer.
Can't get him out.
Inside Carrington is brought to you by United Store, where you can shop the biggest selection of festive United gifts. Kick off the holiday season with United Store. 100% official, 100% United.
Really interesting there to hear from 2 players at very different points in their career, but both wanting the same goal, of course, Wes. And, it's been a great start for Ayden Heaven. He's been here just close to a year, and he's had a real impact in the games that he has played. What have you been impressed with so far?
First of all, it's a teacher and a student. Obviously, Harry.
Love that.
Yeah, Harry's been, a masterclass in his position for many, many years. But we do have to say, when Ayden's been in, he's been excellent. And you're still sort of waiting for him to do some sort of faults that you can see. You think, okay, he'll learn. And he will always learn. And he'll be learning every game and every training session. But it's actually been a breath of fresh air to watch him, because you wouldn't have thought the way it's gone for him, it would have, because it's very difficult to play at Manchester United. To not make many mistakes, to stay focused at such a young age. And yes, he's not been in the last couple of games, and I think it's perfect what Michael's done. He's put the more experienced players in. But Heaven will learn so much from Harry.
Obviously, Wes, you're going to be very biased. He is a young player. In your experience, what is the most difficult position to come in and play as a young player for Manchester United?
I'd say centre-back.
Yeah.
Leading question, got the answer you wanted.
Yeah, but you're right.
But it is right. I mean, listen, you can make a mistake outside if you fall back a little bit. You obviously want to stop crosses. But centre-back, you can't make a mistake.
No.
You can't head it wrong. The clearances have to be right. If you under a bit of pressure, your first touch has to be right. So I'd easily say centre-back. But I do have to say I mean, we would have thought, would he get a chance so early, and how good can he be, and how good will he be? And he's been exceptional from the first game. You know, it was very hard for the manager to take him out at the time. Even though I still thought Harry should have played more. You know, he's still high quality for me. But yeah, listen, there'd be no love lost there. Both of them will be absolutely fine, and Harry will try and help him in any way possible as well, because Hayden's got a massive future going forward, many, many years to play. But at the moment, you can see the masterclass that, you know, Maguire has been giving over the last 2 games, considering he's not played for a long time as well, to just come straight back into the team, along with Martinez, and really minimise arguably 2 of the best clubs in the division at the moment, to 2 or 3 shots, good shots on target. He's been excellent.
I think it's a really good group, isn't it? When you think that you've got, on the left side of the 2 centre-backs, you've got either Ayden Heaven or Lisandro Martinez. On the right side, you've got a choice of 3 in Harry Maguire, Matthias de Ligt and Lenny Yoro. There's a really lovely mix of youth and experience. They're being helped out hugely by a coaching staff that is hugely experienced in that position, and know for a fact that Johnny's been helping out as much as he possibly can, using that experience that he's got over an entire career. But also Jonathan Woodgate, let's not forget, played for Real Madrid, you know, as a defender. There's so much experience in there being sort of poured upon all of them. And I think what a great environment for somebody like Ayden Heaven to learn and develop, and to have somebody like Harry Maguire helping him through that. Can't ask for much more.
And do you know what really impressed me about Harry Maguire? Obviously, we did speak in the interview about the tough times that he went through, which, I mean, I heard Wayne Rooney actually saying he couldn't have been able to cope with that. Lots of people couldn't have coped with what he has went through. But the way he speaks now, he is very calm, he's collected, he's sure of himself. I feel like he's just really happy in his own skin, and you can see that when he's playing. I don't know whether you felt that in the interview, Liam.
Exactly that. There were a couple of things in there that maybe took me by surprise, but I don't think, having heard what he had to say, his ability to cope and deal with situations, I think, has probably matured him even further. So even though he was already an old head on his shoulders, I think now he's just got this capability of soaking it up, dealing with the pressure, and just being able to play through it. And he's a real testament to, you know, mental fortitude and being able to cope and get on with it. And what an example to be able to set.
Yeah, and we talked about that as well, of course, Wes, in the interview, how he can help younger players who maybe are going through a similar situation in the future. Not everyone wants to talk about those issues. Harry said that himself. But for you, how would you have dealt with those situations?
Yeah, listen, it's tough, but I think first of all, Harry's a great character. You know, a lot of the stuff at the time was so bad. I mean, we used to speak about it, and not deserved at all for whatever reason. But when you speak to Harry, you realise, first of all, what a nice guy he is. Regardless of the situation, he just gets on with it and does his best. You know, and then he sort of shows that in the way he played when he did start to come back and get back in the team, how he's come back now. All that experience will help along the way. He can take one game as it goes, and, you know, he will not let the outside sort of noise affect him.
I'm so happy for him.
That's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 12 to 18 month period, wasn't it, where it was really at its height. And it was nearly 2 years ago now that was happening. And I think it's sort of stuck in all of our brains, hasn't it, because of how awful it was. But I think when you speak to Harry, he's very much that's behind me, it's done. I'm now playing some of the best football of my career, and it's hard to disagree.
Could there be a World Cup place for him, Wes?
I cannot see how that can't be the case, Wes.
Listen, if you look at the centre-backs, we haven't got a wide choice of centre-backs. That's what I will say.
Surely it's great.
The experience he's had, you know, in the major competitions as well, to sort of get where England have been in them competitions. For me, you have to put him in there.
Without being contrary, and I don't want to denigrate any other centre halves, would you rather take Harry Maguire in the form that he's currently in, Ezri Konsa or Tyrone Mings. If you had the choice
and that's
between
my
those
point.
three,
Yeah.
who would you pick? And at the moment, based on just on form, Harry Maguire gets my nod at the very
He
least.
get you a goal as well.
Certainly
And we're
will.
not biased. That's just fact.
Very biased.
Obviously, another game this weekend that we have mentioned earlier on in the show, Fulham at home. We've talked about that, Wes, and the expectations. The previous 7 games against Fulham in all competitions have been very tight, though, so it probably could be a bit of a different game.
I think it will be. It's Fulham. This season, they've been tricky, because they've climbed up the league very nicely, very quietly,
Yep.
I would say. And you look at the players, and I think on paper, we put our players against them. You're nodding your head. You're like, okay, as long as we turn up, we can win this game quite comfortably. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think as long as we show the same attitude, I'm sure Michael will have him set out the way he wants, but if we have the same attitude, the same belief, then I think, of course we can win this game. But these are the ones that we need to start turning around. These teams are just in and around us as well, that are not your Liverpools, your Chelseas. These are the games now where we have to start picking up the 3 points.
The atmosphere is going to be really good at Old Trafford as well on the back of those 2 wins, isn't it?
It's going to be absolutely amazing, isn't it? I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Couple of things to think about with Fulham, and that is first game of this season, or the first time we played them this season, played really well for 45 minutes and then had a bit of a sticky second half, which is why the game ended up as a draw. The second thing is that Manchester United have struggled over the last couple of years with teams that sit in, and I'm not sure that Fulham do that at the moment. I'm not sure Fulham are a side that are going to come to Old Trafford and sit in a low block and try and prevent Manchester United from playing football. I think it'll go the other way. And if that's the case, that opens the game up a little bit for Manchester United. And the third thing just to be aware of is they have scored a lot of late goals for equalisers and winners this season. It's quite sort of Man United-esque about the way that they do not stop playing until the 94th minute. And that's something that United are going to have to be aware of as well, Wes.
Yeah, I agree. The way they've played, like you said, Dave, if they sit in, we have struggled with that over the past couple of years. We haven't really had anyone in set for sort of Bruno at the time to break these teams down. And this is where, I think when we do get a team that does do that, it's a different challenge completely. So it'd be interesting to see how exactly, first of all, they set up, and then what we sort of do. But I just feel the adrenaline's still on our side, the confidence is still on our side, and we're at Old Trafford, which makes it even better.
Well, guys, thank you. That's it for another week. What's our plans this week, Wes? What are you up to?
What day are we on?
I think it's Tuesday.
Tuesday. So what am I doing? My youngest today. Get my youngest today from school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got under 18s Tuesday lunchtime. Then we've got the games for the rest of the week. And I think we've got another sneaky podcast coming on Thursday as well. No hints.
We do. All will be revealed next week, though, on Inside Carrington. So make sure you do tune in. Guys, have a good week. See you soon.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Or listening. You can keep that in.